Good evening, viewers. Welcome to this special evening edition of Career Pathshala, and this is Raksha Bandhan evening, and we have we are here on this day on to talk about career in auto industry. We really thank Vartul and Rohit for coming on this day and uh, on our show. Though it is a festive day, but we believe that yes, festivals are celebrated with doing something for ourselves and for our family. So all the viewers, we thank you for joining in. We are getting some good responses, and we really thank you for being live. And on this Raksha Bandhan, we convey our best greetings to you and your family. And it's really a proud privilege to share screens with two major auto sector industry people, one from USA General Motors and Mahindra and Mahindra from India. Uh, we also have Shivansh, our student representative. So we welcome Vartul and Rohit Shivansh to the Career Pathshala. Thank you for being here. It's also a proud privilege because Vartul, Rohit both happen to be my students and alma mater of the same college which I belong. So welcome Vartul, welcome Rohit. Shivansh, I would like you to also welcome on behalf of students, and then we start the show.
Good evening, dignitaries. On the behalf of student faculties, I would like to thank you, Virtual Saxena sir from General Motors and Rohit Shivpuri sir from Mahindra and Mahindra to come to us on such an auspicious day of Raksha Bandhan and provide us with such wonderful uh, broadcasting channel about the auto parts and automobile industries. Though I am from computer science department, but as we have seen, more and more industries are shifting to automobiles, and automobile is shifting to computer science. So it is going to be one of the most improvement and very interesting session for all of us. I would like to thank you once again for joining the session.
Thank you, Shivansh, and sorry, Vartul, he just mispronounced you, but I think it's
No,
not
that's
a
fine.
common.
No, that's fine.
And Shivansh just joined 3 minutes back. He called me that he wanted to be in the show, and I welcomed him. So, a brief background about Career Pathshala in this pandemic. Students are looking forward for how their future will be. Colleges, industries definitely are trying to reach out students. I have given 15 years of my time to placements for students, and that is the thought which we brought to connect with students, to bring them some good industry experts. हमारा ये मानना है कि आप सीनियर्स हो, आप बच्चों को एक एक इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट होने के साथ साथ एक सीनियर होने का एक आप उनको सलाह देंगे, जो आपके सेक्टर की तो होगी ही होगी, उनको ओवरऑल लाइफ में challenges को कैसे face करें, how they can be successful, it will all revolve around it. So but this is the simple thoughts we have with Career Pathshala, and we are also happy to announce that all the final year students of Career Pathshala will get a free assessment from Aspiring Minds. We got this news yesterday that Aspiring Minds सारे final year students जो इसमें हैं उनको free assessment करेगा, and that assessment usually costs around 6 to 700 rupees per student. So it's a great support from Aspiring Mind, and our registrations in total has reached something to 17,000 for Career Pathshala. So it's going phenomenal with the support of students. This is a show which is actually of the students, and this is for the students, and definitely by the students.
By the students.
So
That's true.
putting that context, we would like to welcome you, and starting from Vartul, your journey. We would like to know how was your journey as a mechanical engineer, and then what was your experience till now. A brief about your journey, and then we go to Rohit.
Sure, sir. So, good evening, everyone, for joining today. And first of all, thank you, Dr. Anuj, sir, for bringing us on this platform. It's been after a long time that I'm sharing the stage again with Rohit. So, hello, Rohit. And
Hi,
thank you,
Vartul.
Shivansh, for the welcome message. So, I'm also from Bhopal and currently working in General Motors as a design release engineer. So, I am the lead in the body structures department. So we will have a live session today, and I want an interactive session. So want the students to ask more and more questions about you guys have in the for the automobile industry. Telling you about my journey is my journey started with Bhopal, and I studied, did my B bachelor's, and then came to US to do my master's. In 2009, I came in US, and then after that, I'm working in General Motors from 2013. I'm working in General Motors. So in between, I was in Germany. I worked for a company in Germany. It was a designing company, and then like it's been 8 years in GM. So it's been a journey with a lot of ups and downs and a lot of struggle, but it's been great till now. And I would love to answer all the questions that students have, how they can make a career, how they can come to US. And so waiting for the questions and have a interactive session today. So to you, Rohit.
Thanks, Vartul, for such a lovely, crisp background about you. So first of all, I would like to thank Shivansh for welcoming us, and special thanks to Anuj sir, because I surprisingly he's our from the same thing, and because of him I'm here. I'll be very blunt here, because the reason is I still remember the day one when I entered the Oriental College, and my interaction with sir has done wonders for me, and he has been always been a guiding person for us. And luckily, because of the Pathshala, special thanks to the Pathshala team and the students. Because of the Pathshala team, after I think it's after many years, I'm sharing the same platform with Anuj sir and Vartul. And luckily, Vartul is my batchmate also. We were together in the classroom also. So
That's
वो
true.
सारी मस्ती हमने साथ में करी है. एंड अनुज सर के साथ तो आई थिंक आई स्पेंड द मैक्सिमम टाइम as a student, because I was part of the placement council. Then I was, I think, one of the first president placement councils. I still remember that designation. And he has been always the guiding and motivating person for me in my life. And due to which I'm right now, just to give you a small background, what I'm doing. I've done my engineering from Bhopal. Then I joined Mahindra through campus placement. Then I did my MBA from Narsi Munji, IMS. So it's been a very good journey for me. The last 10 years after my engineering has been very fruitful for me. And right now I'm heading the value added products and customization business for Mahindra and Mahindra. So I take care of entire pan Indian exports, and any kind of customization which you see by Mahindra is taken care by me. So customization itself is a very unique field, and I'm enjoying my work. And thanks again. And I think let's have a open session. So I would be I'm very much interested in listening to the students and what is their queries, and how we can be a guiding person for them.
बहुत बढ़िया. सो पुरानी यादें ताज़ा हो गई, बहुत सारी यादें हैं. एंड दैट इज गुड विद द इवनिंग एंड विद द फेस्टिव टाइम. And I think both of you, it has been 12 years graduated from colleges, and now in your different space of life. 12 साल पहले आप लोग भी कॉलेज में एक अपने कैरियर को तलाशते थे, सोचते थे, एंड काफी कंफ्यूज्ड रहते थे. So till now, in fact, I am very much confused about my future. So confusion तो एक आप अपने लिए सोच रहे हैं, ये इसका वो उदाहरण है. But great to see you, and maybe we will, with your experiences, throw some light to students on their career offerings which they have. So coming to the point of our today's discussion on automobiles, uh, for many people, for young students, if you find that what's your dream, so probably बहुत कम लोग ये ड्रीम करते हैं कि हम एक बड़ा घर बनाएंगे. पहला ड्रीम तो ये होता है कि ये वाली गाड़ी खरीदनी है. So somewhere dream and automobile industry is very closely, like they are there hand in hand. And with all the movies of you see there's always a car or an auto. It defines your status, it defines the type of personality you are. So automobile sector, how is the present condition in COVID times? And for students who are aspiring to make uh, their career in auto industry, तो अभी present situation कैसा है? पहले रोहित से जानते हैं इंडिया का पोजीशन, फिर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का पोजीशन
So
हम वर्तन से
before
पूछते हैं.
before responding to this query, I would like to, Shivansh mentioned one thing, that he's from computer science and he still wanted to be part of this. So that itself is a very, मेरे को इतनी positive vibes in the moment Shivansh said that thing. So just to answer to your query, automobile industry market maybe what is happening, COVID is being treated as an excuse, which I personally feel is not the right thing, not the right approach. Because what is happening, I am personally seeing what is the business happening, and कोविड के बहाने से सब लोग एक ऐसा कर रहे हैं कि कोविड हो गया तो मार्केट डाउन हो गया. So that's, it's basically very simple. It's survival of the fittest, and it's, you just need to have a correct approach, and you should just have a small passion to make a difference. Because ये मैंने सर से ही सीखा है. बिकॉज पैशन फॉर मेकिंग अ डिफरेंस एक बहुत हम लोग करते थे, और हम लोग ने बहुत सारे इवेंट्स भी किए थे साथ में कॉलेज में. द होल आइडिया वाज टू create, do something different. So right now, if you talk about automobile industry definitely has seen a little dip in the market because of the non usage of vehicles by the people. But again, the market is opening up, and it is a very good platform. Because right now what is happening, if the complete industry is going for a transition in a way of new technologies coming in into the vehicles, so where all branches are equally part of it. It's not necessary that only one branch is taking it forward. It's a open thing. A passionate person, जैसे आपने बताया, ड्रीम जो चीज है, इट वाज अ फैक्ट विद मी. घर लेने से पहले मैं भी ये सोचता था कौन सी गाड़ी यूज करूंगा मैं. And that's why the passion was for the vehicles, and it has really helped the passion. And automobile industry is coming back to its normal phase. It is doing good, and you just need to shift gears to more out of box thinking. Like example, electric vehicles is a very good example, that every company is working towards electric vehicle. I think Vartul can throw some light, because he's into that. General Motors is working a lot on electric vehicles. In fact, in India, Mahindra was the first company which is having a complete electric portfolio. So we have taken over Reva, which was there initially. It was very much before its time. So right now it's taken over by Mahindra, and there is a recently tie up between Ford and Mahindra for specifically for electric SUVs. So automobile market is doing good, and it's picking up well. I think Vartol will be in a better position. US may, it's more, infra is better, so I think he's the right person to take it forward.
So we take the opinion how the US market says about auto industry in the present scenario.
So thanks, Rohit. You brought some very good points about the passion and the technical part. But to start with, first, like cars are no longer like a status symbol. Cars are more like a utility now. And whenever any person or anyone looking for a car, the first thing he sees is the features, the luxury, the comfort. And car is now like a necessity. It's not like something that you just buy and keep it in your garage. It's something that you need. You travel, how much time everyone spends every day, like when you go to your office you have a long traffic and then you spend. So that's why cars are something now. It's a valuable essential to everyone's life. From the morning to the evening you spend a lot of time on cars. So now talking about the career, as Rohit mentioned, the first thing that anyone needs, and that Rohit and me, we both had that time, like is the passion. And I'm really great that Shivanshi, you are here and you are from computer science. So that's a very good example that automobile is just not for mechanical or electrical. It's an open field for any student of any field can come in. Because if you see the cars, they have the electrical side, like they have the mechanical side, the outer frame, the score, the style of the car, and then all the IT side, they have the infotainments, all the luxury features. So every engineer, no matter which field he is, there is a job for him in the automobile industry. Now it's like, how can you get that job? So you have to have a passion, like Rohit mentioned, and we'll talk more about in the session about the future of the cars. And I'll tell you more about how US is doing on those future. But right now, like electric cars are more that the companies are working nowadays. So that's a little example of what the cars you will see in the future. So,
So अभी के सिनेरियो में like the auto industry, as Rohit and you both said that definitely with the COVID times, the type of the public transport will not be preferred by people,
Correct.
and social distancing will be in the mindset of people even after the vaccine is coming.
correct.
Slowly world will move towards herd immunity, which will take time. Though the vaccination might come, we're getting some very positive news. But definitely there will be an increase in auto sectors in terms of demand, and also there will be a lot of challenge with industry to provide customized cars, and with all budgets, people from lower income group to the possible luxuries also. So very good inputs that viewers that auto industry is definitely being on a positive track, and there will be more on safety and security measures of the passengers, and future is beyond imagination for auto industry.
And
So
I would just like to
let's
add
track.
one more
Yes.
point here. And future is beyond. That is absolutely fine. And just to add one more point, I got campus placement, and I think Mahindra was one of the few automobile companies which came down to Bhopal, and I was one of the shortlisted candidate. So you people are in very safe hands. You are lucky that you are having Anuj sir is there to guide you guys. So just give your best and leave the rest. Don't you know give your best approach, because that's why I just mentioned it's survival of the fittest. It's not about just you know it's a complete overall development is very critical. That is what very important factor for the companies which they are looking at in the students.
Rightly put in. Overall development is the key. And now moving towards the future of automobile, a lot of students who are graduating, they might go for an MTech or directly join the company. तो किस प्रकार का ऑटो सेक्टर में हम कैरियर फ्यूचर में देखते हैं जो भी फर्स्ट ईयर में हैं? शिवांश फ्रॉम कंप्यूटर साइंस, कैन ही मेक अ फ्यूचर इन कैरियर इन ऑटो? So from you guys, if we can get some inputs starting from Vartul and then going to Rohit, how is the future of automobile sector in next 5-10 years, 5 years down the line? क्या देखते हैं आप?
So, so the future in the automobile industry is very bright, as we see right now, as we are in the auto industry right now, and we have a lot of different programs that are going on different areas like the electric car segment, and various different kind of programs. So how can a student develop himself? So my first suggestion to all the students would be like, have your technical skills, enhance those technical skills, because those you will be requiring to get select and then to use them in to make a car. Because when you work on a car, the first thing that we have to be very specific is the safety of our customer. So whosoever is driving our car has to be safe. If anything happens, nothing should happen to our customer. So any car company policy in the world is our customer should be safe, and to make a customer safe, engineers have to be have a strong technical background, and they need to be very specific in what they are doing, because you are risking someone's life if the thing is not good. So have your core technical skills very strong. Second, just think about like, whatever you are studying, just don't like, just read and just learn it and give the exams. Just think about it, like, if something is like this, why it is like this. So for an example, अगर अगर आज आप कोई गाड़ी देखते हैं बाहर, तो जस्ट सोचिए कि इसका डोर ऐसा क्यों है, अगर ऐसा नहीं है तो कैसा हो सकता है. तो इस अप्रोच को we use a lot in the automobile industry. If something is like that, why is like that. अगर महिंद्रा कोई गाड़ी बना रही है या जीएम कोई गाड़ी बना रही है, तो वो वैसी क्यों है. तो और जो नई गाड़ियां आती हैं रोज, वो these are the engineers who change them. So try to develop that kind of thinking, that you think why aspect, like why is something like that, and this will help you more in your career, in the automobile industry. Last is the passion. Like, if you have passion and you want to be in this industry, read more about it. You have internet, YouTube, everything. You can listen on YouTube. So knowledge gaining and thinking practical will make you really someone who can work in the automobile industry. And to you, Rohit, you want to add anything?
Very, very well captured. What points are very well captured. Just to add few more points, what Vartul said. So it's more what he was trying to say was basically you need to be more practical in analyzing the thing, because I personally myself, when I was in my engineering first year and second year, I was like, कि पढ़ाई एग्जाम्स आते थे, आई वाज लाइक ओ नो यार एग्जाम्स क्यों आ गए. बट हैट्स ऑफ टू वर्तुल, बिकॉज वर्तुल ही मेरे को पढ़ाई कराता था. तो सारे मैंने एग्जाम्स वर्तुल से पढ़ के दिए, और एक और मेरा फ्रेंड था, तो दोनों पढ़ाते थे मेरे को. And now I am realizing, the all the things which are there in the textbook, which we do in practicals and all, so wo puri learning ho rahi hai, because I never expected that I'll be into a field of customization. And for me, every vehicle is a new project. As Vartul mentioned, a lot of points ki why this door is like this, why aerodynamicity क्यों होनी चाहिए vehicle में, seating कैसी होनी चाहिए. So every part in that vehicle is having some or the other logic. So basically, it's a service industry which we are talking about, because at the end of the day, customer भगवान माना जाता है. And right, when a vehicle is going into the market, so you need to plan out, it will be serving anyone across the world, right? You don't know what kind of person will be driving the vehicle, or what kind of customer will be sitting into the vehicle. So what Vartul was trying to say, I'll just add few more points to it, that detailing is very critical. And there was one question I just saw on the screen, that somebody was asking, what is the career in designing field of automobile? Yeah, I think Ashwin wants to know about the designing field.
So Ashwin wants to know that on designing field in automobile, like what part to follow after completing graduation in mechanical engineering. अगर उनको एक डिजाइन इंजीनियर या कस्टमाइजेशन इंजीनियर बनना है तो क्या करना चाहिए? Yes.
So, Ashwin, just to respond to your query, it totally depends what kind. There are multiple options in designing itself also. Like Vartul was saying, it's not about just one. It's, we are talking about a lot of things being covered under one umbrella. Like example, when you talk about DC is treated as one of the, very great designer in India, right? So if you want to go into that side, that is more of the styling side of the thing. If you talk about like Vartul, he's into designing of specific major part of it. It depends what kind of field you want to do. There are specific courses which you need to do, so you can always connect with us anytime if you need any specific information about it. There are a lot of design courses. It depends that, if you are interested more of the styling of the vehicle, then there is a different course. If you want to go into the, say, driveline designing, then it's a different course. If you are interested in engines, so a lot of field, there are different aspects of designing related to automobile. Like some people, like Vartul mentioned initially, that all the branches can be part of automobile industry. Why? Because future, Anusar also mentioned, what is the future of the automobile industry? Everything is going into automation. So automation ke liye software ke bina automation ho nahi sakta hai. So it depends how you want to go forward in your designing field. But styling is having a different design course. So there are different courses which you need to do after your masters. Just say Vartul can throw some light about it. So he did masters. So he had a specific thought process what he wants to do. Like I'm doing customization, so I'm more into styling aspect of the thing and the performance side of the vehicle. That's you need to have a thought process which field you want to go in. Then it will be more easy to specifically select a course. It's not about just कर लिया मैंने कोई सा भी course और मैं इस field में चला जाऊं. So there is a little
So there are a
different
lot of
approach.
confusions in the market to do AutoCAD, Pro E, and all. Abarto, you want to add something to this, or like?
सर सिर्फ एक ही चीज ऐड करना चाहूंगा जो आपने बोला, जैसे कि सॉफ्टवेयर्स जो ऑटो कैड और प्रो ऐसे बहुत सॉफ्टवेयर्स है दैट यू कैन लर्न, एंड एज रोहित मेंशन लाइक स्टाइलिंग. So one more thing, like designers are very important for this industry because they are the first one who put something on a paper or on computer, and then all the expert comes and see that. So as in designing field, you have to have a very strong technical background, and then you should know the designing softwares which companies can help you to learn too, but you should have a good technical skills, and then go ahead and different styling options in the car. And car has like various styling departments, various designing departments. So you can connect with us, like we can tell you in detail. It's this platform, I cannot say too much detail, but yeah, like it's a very good field, Ashwin, and that's a
So
very good
basically,
question.
just to add
So
one point which will cover the whole thing, for any automobile company, it's more of its product which makes it impact into the market rather than anything else. So I
correct.
think that will summarize the whole point which we want to portray to the team. Like example, just
Exactly.
to say, Kia Motors, they just have one product portfolio right now in India, but still they have created a buzz, right?
Yeah,
Then if you talk about Maruti, with one product they created a buzz. So it's more about the product which speaks for automobile industry rather than all the other aspects, sales, marketing, all that is part and parcel of the whole gambit. But the idea is the product itself speaks for the companies.
so
So
just to
talking about Mahindra also, just to interrupt, there
no
was
sir,
a
go ahead.
point when Anand Mahindra also quotes that the coming of Scorpio invented the Mahindra and Mahindras. But the
Absolutely.
Mahindra was only known for making jeeps and jeeps. So
So,
Scorpio आने के बाद वो पूरा reinvent हुई,
sir,
and
it's a
Mahindra,
make.
if you see the last 15 years, 20 years journey, so the way they have
So,
not only in automobile but even in software, they took Satyam
absolutely.
and the way it has to continuously change. Yes, Rohit.
So just to add what you just said about Scorpio, it's very well said in the company. Basically, Bolero and Scorpio changed the whole complete scenario of Mahindra and Mahindra to the market. And right now, from Jeeps, it has done wonders and it's going very strong.
Yes, Vatul, you wanted to say add something.
Yes, right. Yes, sir. So just to add on the Rohit's point, so for any automobile company, the main aim is to have a customer and keep it for the life. So if you buy a car, like if you buy a Mahindra Bolero once or Mahindra Scorpio once, throughout the life you buy the Mahindra cars, Mahindra SUVs, or if you buy a GM car in US, you buy the same GM cars throughout your life. So that's the that's our final thing that we have to keep in mind, that we have to keep a customer with us for the life. We don't want the customer to change, like he buys one car and then say, I will never buy a car of this company. So we don't want to have that thing happen. So every minute detail has to be very carefully examined, and then the product is given to the customer.
So in a lot of past discussions, we were talking about research when we were talking with data science and all, कि जो आने वाला समय है वो काफी research oriented है, and which is very true. The type of economy, जैसे Facebook has not come up because they had a huge capital or huge money in place, but they did something connected to social network, and the new buzzword came. So how there's a question from Kshitij Chitransh. About
Correct.
if someone wants to actually go deeper, like what Leo did into research. So probably this question is for you. That if you want to go deeper into research in automobile, so India or any other country, like, and if other, then what is a good country to do an MS, whether it is US, Germany, or Italy, or any other, if you can just throw light on. Definitely research has many areas. Automobile is not just a car, it has a lot of segments. So but
Correct.
still, in general overview, if you can guide him for some
Yeah.
uh,
Sure. So Kshitij, I saw your question, and that's a very good question about where you can go for research. So, according to me, US and Germany are like the two main areas where you can go for automobile. I've worked in both the areas. I worked in Germany too for some time, and now I'm in US. So they both have good research, like capabilities, and how you can know that, like just select those area where you have big automobile companies. So like in US, Michigan, where I am located right now, has like three big OEMs here. So we have General Motors here, we have Ford here, and we have one more company called Chrysler. It's bought by Fiat now, it's called Fiat Chrysler. So if you come to US and if you come to Michigan or any university, these three companies gave a lot of research project to university students. So when I was in doing my master's, I did a research project for Fiat Chrysler. So it was like a 1 year research project. So how things happen in US is the companies give research project to professors, and then professor have the students, the master students, complete those research projects with them. We have the help from company experts and we have the help from university experts. So US is a good place, and the same goes in Germany also. In Germany also, you have BMW, Audi, and the top Mercedes, the top automobile OEMs. And so if you go there in university, the same thing goes in Germany too. So these big companies do the research projects with students, so that help them in two ways. They get their projects done in very less cost, and secondly, they get students. They see the students in universities who work on these projects, and then they hire them. So US, Germany, they are very good options and for research in this field. And then you can connect me on LinkedIn, and I can help you in getting more options if you're coming to US.
So, any cost comparison, because at times cost is also a factor if students have like at times what happens, लोग ये सोचते हैं जर्मनी में जर्मन भाषा सीख लोगे तो फ्री में पढ़ लेंगे और यूएस जाना बहुत महंगा होगा, एमएस इज क्वाइट costly. So if people can afford, what you would suggest go, because Germany again has a barrier of language at times, आपने भी फेस किया होगा. तो आप क्या सजेस्ट करते हैं कि गिवन एन ऑप्शन विद कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व?
सर कॉस्ट के साथ बहुत सारे प्रॉस एंड कॉन्स है जो दैट गोस विद द कॉस्ट. लाइक जर्मनी, as you mentioned, like language is a problem, so you have to learn German, and or some of the courses are in German, so you have to have fluency in German. In US, language is not a problem. You can easily study in English. But the second thing that you have to see with the cost is the visa scenario. So the visa scenario in different countries, like Germany is different, US is different. So as the governments are changing, the visa scenario is changing. So whenever you make a decision, just think about some points like the future. If there is a future in that country, how the visa scenarios is, and how much investment you are doing.
And
So if you
also,
don't,
how is your alumni or your relative base also? That matters, honestly. Like if you have some
correct,
friends or your friends, brothers, and all, these are small things. So I think research, if you go, I think in India also it is there, but
correct,
going abroad, you get to know the latest things happening around. So even in India, there is some fine tuning of research because of the Indian terrain. It happens, but if you want to go deeper into the engine design, electric vehicles, so those are the places where it's already been implemented.
correct.
थर्मोडायनेमिक्स में अगर किसी का इंटरेस्ट है तो ऑटोमोबाइल में क्या कैरियर या कहाँ उसका उपयोग है? मेरे ख्याल से ऑटोमोबाइल में तो थर्मोडायनेमिक्स का बहुत उपयोग है.
So
हमारा जो
बहुत
इंजन है वही थर्मोडायनेमिक्स
उपयोग.
है.
पूरा पूरा
अभिनव, योर
पूरा
क्वेश्चन.
लाइफ लाइन है वो तो.
सो हीट को
वो
प्रोड्यूस
बोलते हैं ना,
करना
वो
और
हार्ट ऑफ व्हीकल क्या है, इंजन ही तो
exactly.
हार्ट है उसका पूरा.
So it's like the heart of the vehicle, and air conditioning is also where thermodynamics, I think, should play a role, if I'm
Or
not wrong.
correct. And sir, I can add one more thing, like the new electric cars that are coming up. उसमें जो इलेक्ट्रिक पूरा कॉन्सेप्ट आ रहा है, उसमें थर्मोडायनेमिक्स प्रिंसिपल्स का बहुत बड़ा रोल है.
बहुत बड़ा ये रोल है.
सो बिकॉज इलेक्ट्रिक कार में आपको कूलिंग और हीटिंग बहुत सारी बैटरीज आपके साथ रहेंगी जो उस स्पीड पे आपके साथ रहेंगी. सो थर्मोडायनेमिक्स प्रिंसिपल, थर्मोडायनेमिक्स नॉलेज will be a very important, and the person who knows this will be a very like a important person for automobile industry in the coming future.
बिकॉज जैसे वर्तुल ने बोला भी सर, इलेक्ट्रिक बैटरीज भी, देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ बैटरीज विच कंपनीज आर एक्सप्लोरिंग. कंटिन्यूस एक्सप्लोरेशन हो रहा है. इट्स नॉट कि एक ही लिथियम आयन ले ली हो गया, उससे काम हो गया. लेड एसिड हो गए, उसमें भी देयर आर डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस. बिकॉज जैसे आपने एक पॉइंट बोला था, कॉस्ट फॉर स्टडीज, सो द सेम principle applies here. At the end of the day, the cost of the vehicle is defined, which creates the market for the companies. So different types of batteries होती हैं, where thermodynamics plays a very important role.
So Deepak has a question about arrival of electric vehicles in automobile industry. Gonna seal IC engines completely. Will it affect mechanical and automobile engineers? So दीपक का एक क्वेश्चन ये है कि इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स आने से जो इंजन वाला पार्ट है वो मोटर से शायद रिप्लेस हो जाएगा, तो काफी इलेक्ट्रिकल चीजें होंगी. So how a mechanical engineer and automobile engineer should look at it? I want to put a small context. Whatever branch का engineer हो, you are an engineer. So just view with that point. कि तुम मैकेनिकल और इलेक्ट्रिकल को अलग कर ही नहीं सकते, आप कंप्यूटर साइंस को अलग नहीं कर सकते. व्हेन यू गो टू
Absolutely.
इंडस्ट्री, व्हेन दीज गाइज वर्क, दे वर्क ऑन कंप्यूटर्स टू क्रिएट द डिजाइन, प्रोटोटाइप दैट. So just marketing it between, let's not do any racism in engineering, क्योंकि बाकी जगह रेसिज्म है, एटलीस्ट इसको अपन ये इलेक्ट्रिकल का ये मैकेनिकल का नहीं है. एरास चेंज होते हैं, बट एनीवेज विल आस्क फ्रॉम पीपल हु आर मोर इनटू इट. So what's your view that on EVs coming, the demand for mechanical engineers will be lesser, or how they can uh, change themselves so that they remain in demand? Adaptation.
Sir, I can answer this question. Like Deepak has a very value point, and many people are thinking like that. Like as the EVs are coming, demand will be less, but it's wrong. Like demand will be more for mechanical and automobile engineers, and even though the people who are working on IC engine, they have their core knowledge. They know like all the heat thing, and there are a lot of things that go with IC engine. So that expertise can be used for the battery, the thermal aspects of the car, for the electric vehicle. So there's nothing changing. Like the people who are working on IC engine part, they will be working on the EVs. Then only the EVs will come into the market, and the demand is more and more nowadays because the competition is so much. Every company has so many cars. Every year we have so many new cars coming in the market. Like EV segment, you have a lot of cars in the EV segment. So to make yourself like look like you are the best one for a customer who have like 100 EV options to buy, and every company is giving its cost incentives, EMI incentives, and a lot of different like offers they're giving. So the demand is never less for mechanical and automobile engines. But one thing, like you need to upgrade yourself, like the same like in the IT field, the same is now in the mechanical field. You have to upgrade your knowledge. You have to learn more and more things, increase your technical aspects, or like in future like you can do your MBA, go in the management side. However you want to pursue your career, that's your choice. But like you have to learn more, and there are a lot of opportunities available like inside. Like for example, if I take GM or if I take Mahindra, inside they have like thousands of jobs opportunities. So engineer like can travel his whole life inside a OEM, and have worked in different fields. They have engineers, they have management, then they have business people. Like Rohit is in the business side. He also started like in the engineering side. So there are lots of options that you can see, and demand will never be less. So after EVs, there will be self-driving cars. There are flying cars options. So the future
It's
looks like there's no like
endless.
no
There's no
limit.
end to it. So basically, abhi jaise sir, you just mentioned one point, and Vartul also mentioned. So like electric vehicles are the future, but right now the biggest challenge is to have an infrastructure to support EV vehicles. Like
Correct.
US and another other European countries, they have an infra right now. That's why wahan pe it's very successful. But specifically, if we talk about India, so right now the biggest challenge is to have the infrastructure to support the EVs. Second thing where we play, mechanical engineers and all play a very important role. Initially, the thought process was, अच्छा एक कोई सी गाड़ी है, इंजन हटा के मैं उसको कैसे इलेक्ट्रिक कन्वर्ट कर दूं. बट द वेट आपने मेंशन किया था बीच में, तो वेट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर फॉर इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स. लाइक बैटरीज भी हैं. हाउ वी कैन, सिंपल एग्जांपल, वेरी बेसिक एग्जांपल टू रिलेट इट विद मोबाइल फोन्स. पहले मोबाइल फोन बड़े होते थे बैटरी की साइज की वजह से, एंड बहुत कम चलते थे. अभी फोन की बैटरी छोटी होती जा रही है एंड लाइफ बढ़ती जा रही है. सो सेम थिंग इज एप्लीकेबल. सो एवरीथिंग इज इंटरकनेक्टेड सम और द अदर वे. That's very
That's
critical
true.
here, and there is no
डेफिनेटली
end.
वेट पूरा खेल वेट का है, जिससे फ्यूल एफिशिएंसी
Absolutely.
को बढ़ाया
Fuel
जाए.
efficiency बढ़ेगी.
और
Correct.
लोग वन टाइम कॉस्ट से ज्यादा जो डेली कॉस्ट होता है, वट एवर गल्फ फ्यूल प्राइसेस आर, वी हैव टू पे अ गुड फ्यूल प्राइस. सो वी डोंट हैव
Absolutely.
अ वेरिएबल फ्यूल मार्केट. तो डेफिनेटली एक वी हैव वेरी पॉपुलर एड, इफ आई रिमेम्बर, कि देता कितनी है. दे वेंट
अब
टू
वो
बाय
मारुति
बिग.
मारुति का एड था.
Exactly. So we are obsessed by the mileage, and to whatever car. And I often come across when people like कि आपके इसकी गाड़ी का mileage कितना है, and I'm like I don't know, sorry. So I still got it. I go to a pump and say fuel इतना डाल दो. So, about talking about, there were two questions, one on Industry 4.0 in automobile, so and another on digital, how digital manufacturing. So, IT is definitely not leaving any place of work. Connected vehicles and the supply chain is very connected now. It's becoming very agile, and technology is making a huge future of jobs prospects in the supply chain management. So how is that overall, not now coming outside the car, the overall as said, the OEMs and the other supply chain management systems, तो इसमें कैसा आप चेंज देखते हैं पूरा systems में, and how it is how the automation is uh, taking it to what levels?
So, Varthul, you would like to respond, or you want I should take it forward?
Take it.
Yeah. So basically, sir, digital. It's a very nice question by Rishabh. So digital, you have already answered the question. Actually, I was about to use the same. IT is everywhere, and IT से ही पूरी सब कुछ चीज हो रही है. Software is the back end lifeline for all the things. So basically, digital, if you see right now, मतलब it's more of, I just mentioned initially also, it's more about survival of the fittest. So everyone is trying to get into digital thing, because वो बोलते हैं अभी क्या होता था पहले, प्यासे के पास प्यासे को कुएं के पास ले जाना, बट अभी थॉट प्रोसेस पूरा चेंज हो चुका है कि कुएं को प्यासे के पास कैसे लेके जाए. एंड आप एक जगह बैठे हो, किसी को आपको कुछ करना है, तो व्हाट इज द बेस्ट सोर्स ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी टू have that. So it's all about digital thing which is happening everywhere. And specifically, he wanted to understand about the digital manufacturing and all, which he mentioned in the question. So it's all getting more into automation, robotics. Everything is, it's totally controlled through a IT. जो चीज आप बता रहे हो, it's more and more precision work के लिए, and that's the basic thing which has created the difference in comparison to the previous years, how the whole manufacturing was happening. So that plays a very important role. अभी तो मतलब आप देखोगे, it's not about manufacturing, it's about even the sales and marketing front. If you come and cover this angle, so everything is going digital. Very simple example, movies अभी पहले आप पिक्चर हॉल में देखते थे, अब आजकल अब सब everyone is watching Netflix and Amazon and all Hotstar. So अब सब digital platform पे सब कुछ हो रहा है. So I think that's a
So the digital manufacturing with some examples of customization. Even in, I think in customization of cars, you are using some digital techniques, Rohit.
absolutely. So basically, what we do now, we customization for, as I mentioned, every vehicle is a new project for me. So what is happening? वो जैसे आपने Raymond's cat देखा होगा, make to measure करते हैं. Every person is having a different requirement. So that is what we try to capture through customization. That any specific thing which customer wants, so we create that whole thing. We make him understand the whole concept what we are doing, because as an engineer we understand what we are trying to give him a solution. But जो layman है, उसको तो मालूम है मुझे आप क्या देने वाले हो. So that plays a very critical role for me in customizing any vehicle. That is a very integral part of it.
So just want to add something on this digital manufacturing, as the person asked, I forgot his name. So
Rishabh.
Rishabh. So yeah, Rishabh. So Rishabh, the digital manufacturing has also something new nowadays. They call it like 3D printing. So that saves a lot of cost for the companies to make small parts, test them, try them. So you can read more about 3D printing. Just Google it, and you will get a lot of articles on it. But that is something that you can make a career into it also. So if something like that interests you, read about it, learn about it, and see how you can grow in that segment. But like all the automobile industries are using it, and if they are not using it, they will be using it in the coming future, and all the supplier industries are using it because that is saving a lot of cost for these companies. So just to add on the Rohit's
Sir,
point.
I think आपने बहुत पहले ही आंसर दिया था, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, वो कितना वो देती, कुछ somebody कुछ आपने मेंशन किया था पहले, तो पहले ही दिखा दो कि ऐसा होने वाला है, तो that change the whole perspective of the person.
So we take a question about other branches. Shikha, a girl, she has a question on. She's from electronics, and how electronics can be a part of automobile sector and कैसे हम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स को ले सकते हैं. वैसे इलेक्ट्रिकल व्हीकल आ रहे हैं तो मेरे ख्याल से इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स तो आ ही गया है अंदर.
Yeah.
So I don't
So
think yes there will be a lot of yes Vatul please.
yeah, so Shika, engineering of any field, no matter आप कोई भी field के हो, you have a job in automobile industry, you can be a designer. So even the electrical side, we have designers who design different things in electrical. So it's nothing like automobile field is for mechanical engineers or electric engineers. Mechanical engineers just make the outer metal part that you see in the car. We call it style, like इस car की style बहुत अच्छी है. That's the mechanical role. But the electrical side, all the electrical components, the sensors. Now car have so many sensors nowadays.
तो पूरा जो कंट्रोल सिस्टम होता हो
पूरा कंट्रोल सिस्टम है, और आपका इंफोटेनमेंट पूरा, आप ड्राइवर वन टच पे उसके पास पूरी कार रहती है. So many cameras are coming up, and so like we are coming like now in the future you will see like more than 21 cameras on a car. So like 21 camera, we need like the electronics engineer, we need the IT engineers who will define, like you tell me where to put the camera, I will put it, but how to make that camera connected, how the driver will see it, all the coding, and a lot of things that go in that. So it's nothing that you are electronics or you are electrical, you have a bright future in this field, and you just have to target the right area,
I think
and then you
in coming years, it's not about which branch you are. It's all about the connected world we live in. So it's
correct.
all about mechanical needs marrying electrical and electronics and computer science. So very much curious about the driverless car. That day I was talking to you, Vartul, and General Motors has been one of the key players into it. This question is from my side. Sorry, yeah. I was
कोई
just
दिक्कत नहीं सर.
talking. मेरे दिमाग में आया कि ये driverless cars, how soon we can have them and how is the future. Definitely, it's one of the biggest advantage for people with disabilities with special needs. They at times have to rely on people to take them from one end to another end. At the other end, lot of people say it will kill the jobs of many drivers or whatever. But how is the future, and when soon can we see driverless cars?
So driverless car are basically coming on three concepts. The number one is, if all the cars are driverless, then you will have no accidents. Once you have no accidents, you will have no injuries, and once you have no injuries, no accident, there will be no congestion. Every car will be driving perfectly on the road. So these three key points that the driverless cars are coming up, and you will see up in very close in coming years, in the driverless technology, which will have no driver and the car will be running on the road. So it would be initially like a public car, like where people can use as a, for example, like a taxi sort of service, and then we'll see how those things go on, and then have more like a personal self-driving cars. So a lot of research is going on in this area, and in all the country, all the companies in different countries are working on this segment. So this concept is no longer just a US concept. Like it's all the OEMs are working on this concept. There are various collaborations going on, so combined companies are working to bring a car. So big names are there who are just working on some software side of the car. So it would be a very nice thing like to see once it comes up in, but I can tell you, like in next 5 years you will see these cars on the road, and it will be great. So and the top thing is the customer perspective. Like if I ask you, sir आप इस कार में बैठेंगे, इसमें ड्राइवर नहीं है, so your reaction will be first like, let me think. So on that customer
Yes, if it is
perspective.
not my car, I can sit. If it is your car,
So all those perspectives are being worked on, like with the marketing
It's
teams, with
it's
the
more of
comments.
educating the customer
Correct.
because
yeah,
एक
yeah.
जो it's more of that
और
because
दूसरा ये,
I
personally
remember the launch of Tata Nano and how Ratan Tata himself get into it. मतलब वो घुस गया तो लोग बोलते सब घुस जाएंगे ले लो.
Correct. And these self-driving cars will be running on lot of sensors. So those sensors
There
need
will be
to
a
be
lot of
placed.
protocols written, and it will be
Correct.
all digital and it will be connected with all four, five, six sites.
Correct. So
More
you need
safe.
to have, yeah. So
सर
you need to
आपने
have
भी आपने
Wi-Fi,
एक
all the
ऐसा
sensors.
करेक्ट, तो
So
आपने भी एक ऐसी चीज बोली कि याद आ गया, जब मैं फर्स्ट टाइम मर्सिडीज कर रहा था तो मर्सिडीज के एक मॉडल में देयर इज अ पार्किंग असिस्ट. इट्स लाइक यू
correct,
जस्ट डू दी
Yes.
सिस्टम एंड इट ऑटोमेटिकली पार्क. सो फर्स्ट टाइम आई रिमेम्बर इट्स एजेस बैक. सो व्हीकल मैंने देखा कि स्लॉट अच्छा दिख रहा है, थोड़ा वेरी डिफिकल्ट पार्किंग पोजीशन थी. मैंने कहा यहीं पे जरा पार्क की जाए, क्योंकि आपने बोला अपनी गाड़ी नहीं थी, दूसरे के में बैठे थे. ट्रायल किया एंड व्हेन द स्टीयरिंग स्टार्टेड मूविंग, ऐसा लगा यार मैं जल्दी से पकड़ लूं स्टीयरिंग, अरे अभी अभी मारा. बट इट्स वेरी, that's where automation and software and the programming comes into the picture. It's not
That
about
is where you need good computer science engineer, proper
absolutely.
sensors of electronics, and
even
working on a mechanical good
even
base.
even
So
Vartul
automobile
mentioned,
engineering, yes.
it's all interconnected to each other. Like infotainment he mentioned some time back. So infotainment is totally based, how it's not about just putting a music system. Even in making that music system, companies are getting involved with the OEs of music system, so that how it is connecting to the car, so that the output is achieved. And at the end of the day, it's not harming the, because all these cars are totally driven on ECS पे काम करते हैं, right? So electric consumption is very critical for all these vehicles. और इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स का जैसे आपने बोला, इट्स नॉट अबाउट इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल है तो उसमें एसी तो उसमें भी चल रहा है, इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल है लाइट उसमें भी जलेगी, तो ये सारे फैक्टर्स बहुत क्रिटिकल हो जाते हैं. सो आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू
correct,
रिलेट, every engineering function is very critical for the whole performance of the complete package.
correct. और
So
सर एक चीज लास्ट,
yes, please.
लास्ट चीज जो रोहित ने बोली, जो मैंने पहले ही बताई थी कि कस्टमर सेफ्टी इज द टॉप प्रायोरिटी. So for
Absolutely.
self-driving cars, electric cars, the normal IC engine cars, any car we bring on the road, compromise to safety of customer is like no option. Our programs get delayed, we don't launch the cars, or anything can happen, but safety cannot be compromised. So company can bear a loss, but it cannot put a product that is not safe for the customer. So self-driving cars की safety पे सबसे पहले पूरी रिसर्च की जा रही है कि it should be safe.
जस्ट टू गिव अ वेरी सिंपल बेसिक एग्जांपल, हर कोई देखता होगा पहले, मतलब सारी गाड़ियां जो थी देवर मोर ऑफ एरोडायनेमिक इन नेचर. लाइक एग्जांपल स्विफ्ट ले लो आप, या एनी अदर व्हीकल और समथिंग. बट नाउ डेज इफ यू वुड हैव नोटिस, सबने नोटिस किया होगा, फ्रंटल पार्ट इज बिकमिंग लिटिल स्ट्रेट इन ऑल द व्हीकल्स, एंड देन द एरोडायनेमिक इज कमिंग इनटू द एक्शन. सो देयर इज अ, इट्स नॉट जस्ट कि शेप चेंज कर दी कि एक ब्रांड ने किया. इट्स अबाउट रिलेटेड टू द सेफ्टी कंसर्न, because
Correct.
there are so many norms. Pedestrian safety is very critical norm which has to be followed. There is a dictum by all the governments across automobile industries. So that's why the frontal part has become little flat, so that the pedestrian safety is very critical factor. That's why bumpers are nowadays a no go for any car, because the deployment of airbag is totally dependent upon the impact, how the impact is happening, and if if it is hitting a person. So cars are made in such a way that it absorbs the pressure, so that the pedestrian is safe. But when you attach a bumper to it, it becomes a totally very because the thing is into momentum, so the force applied on that pedestrian is very different. So these are very small things which are very critical, and safety is the very important aspect. I think there were some few questions related to Germany and all. So Vartul, I think you can.
We will come to that. We
Yeah.
will take them together. So this is a different question about that was already taken actually. She wanted
Acha.
to know about how to go into Germany, and so that was
Okay.
already
I
taken.
think the
So
Vartul has
we thought
already
of,
answered this.
in the interest of time, we'll take so in the future if the production rate in automobile increase, so beneficial about upcoming engineers or not. So definitely I think one liner answer of BJ we have to take a lot of more.
So, sir,
So
one liner answer on this will be yes, it will be, the demand will be increasing as the production is increasing. So keep up with your technical skills and be ready for this automobile industry.
Great. So Ariba has a question about now when we think of automobile, everyone thinks along the lines of manufacturing cars like Tesla. Has this field narrowed down to only electric cars and nothing more? What is your thought on this? कि सब कुछ इलेक्ट्रिक पे ही रिसर्च कर रहे हैं या अभी के जो फ्यूल्स पे भी कुछ काम होगा या कुछ अल्टरनेटिव फ्यूल्स इलेक्ट्रिक के अलावा भी
Sir,
देखे
it's not
जाएंगे?
about only, I can answer this in a very
Yes, please.
simple way. It's not only about electric vehicles because electric vehicles are definitely future because to cut down the, you know, it's public को लगता है कि electric vehicle हो गई तो pollution कम हो गया. But, you know, there is a research happening at the back end to make that batteries and उसको बनाने के लिए क्या क्या pollution हो रहा है. That is also a very important factor. So that is more critical, or the pollution which the vehicles were doing through a normal IC engine. So, you know, these are all very critical factors. It's not necessary that everyone is zeroing down to only electric cars. A lot of alternative fuels are being worked upon. Hybrid fuels हैं. इसमें Vartul can add a lot of more things to it. Like example, what I know in my company, what is happening. So electric is one of the very important aspect. But apart from that, how we can have different alternative technologies to have to be added into the vehicles. So that is there.
You know, yeah, that's true, Rohit. Ariba, like the research is not only in electric side, research is going on all the factors. Even though the IC engine side, more research are going on. Like as we say, like too much of anything is bad. So it's like people say IC engines are going away. No, they are not going away. We will have electric cars. We will have IC engine cars. We will have self-driving cars. If we have a mix of everything, it will be good. If we have one thing, if we have only electric cars, then it will be a problem with the electricity. Like you have the charging stations. You have, so it's the same problem that
Infra
will
is very
happen.
critical.
Like now with the petrol, like the prices are high. So companies are working, keeping a balance. Like Tesla is working only on electric car, but it's not that all the companies are only working on electric car. Tesla is just an electric car company, so that's why.
Sure. So a couple of questions we have on oh, बहुत सारे. So I'll take this one. I think I have not read it. Regarding EVs, are there any further options other than wired or induction charge, lithium power sources, solar cells or roof and hood or brushless motor connected providing extra energy? Lot of Googled questions you are getting. So
So,
probably
so,
it's good, but to have
Solar,
a discussion on them.
so yeah. So Rishabh, I can answer you on this one.
Uh,
The thing you have is a very good topic. You can do more research on this topic and make a good project on that. It's a very good topic. But yeah, like you are asking, there are different researches that are going on the solar use also on the roof, and there are different researches that are going on like non-solar use, and like the power from the tires and different things. So this field is very much wide open right now. There is no answer, like as I mentioned before also, you just have to ask why. If this is an answer, why this is an answer, why can't there be something else? So research about this topic more and you can get more answers to your question. And yes, some companies are doing and working for the solar also.
so
solar mein, I
Rohit,
would
this
like to add
question,
one
yes.
thing. Yeah, I would like to add one solar mein thing. I'm, as I mentioned, I'm taking care of customization. So there was something special project given to me by my management, and I'm working on something, a food van, which will be totally on solar. So how to, you know, use the different sources of energy and to give a solution to the customer. So I'm already working on that. And there's a very
So
interesting question about, yes, sir, go
yes,
ahead.
about there are a couple of questions on how there is a lot of competitions on design, and in fact, Mahindra also organizes a couple of competitions in colleges on making vehicles and then ATVs and go kart. So, how much relevance, importance that has in getting technical knowledge and having an upper edge into getting a job or career in automobile?
It
Yes, Rohit.
definitely plays a very important role because sir, if you are making something you know, on your own, वो बोलते हैं ना, खुद हाथ से करो तो बहुत ज्यादा एक knowledge आ जाती है. So making an ATV and all, participating in go-karting racing competitions and all, definitely it's more fun-filled activity. But this gives you a lot of understanding technicalities. आपको मालूम पड़ती हैं because at the end of the day, it's not about just making something, the thing has to perform. So you can definitely connect with me offline, because I am personally guiding students. I've made, I don't know how many ATVs I've made. I'm guiding my students from NMIMS. So it's a fun filled activity, but it gives you a lot of experience from all perspective of completely making and owning that product. Technicalities are very much critical in that, and gives you every aspect to use and make that ATV live. So it's very, very important thing. And definitely it helps you out. It gives you a different confidence level altogether, because what happens when you're making something on your own, so एक feeling होती है ना, एक pride feeling होती है कि मैंने बनाई है गाड़ी. So that's very important as per me.
So just to add one more thing, what Rohit said, like in US, this thing is very popular. Like companies give small projects to universities where students from bachelor's, master's, or even schools participate and work on the cars. They gain the practical knowledge. They know their technical learnings, like what they are learning is how to implement them. And it helps the companies to see who are really good in those skills and sometimes select them just on basis of that. So this is a very common practice in US. So I'm really happy this going on in India. And if students are participating in this, it will be really beneficial for your career in automobile industry.
Sir, I think few days back I was talking to Vartol. I don't know people are aware. Mahindra is the only Indian company who is having its presence in US, and the whole
Correct.
existence is based on a Roxer, which is the brand name of the vehicle, which is mostly like an upgraded version of an ATV for more of a off-roading kind of activity, and that's the existence of Mahindra is happening because of that.
Correct.
So I'll take one question, and then Shivansh probably has a question he will take. So IoT, Internet of Things, we will be having a session on IoT very soon. So in the coming week, but how IoT is playing a role in automobile? A quick answer, as we are short of time.
So info in like IoT is mostly related to the IT side or the infotainment side. So this has a lot to do in the automobile industry. This needs a lot of upgrade every day. So we have a huge career prospects in automobile industries, IoT, and every day as we are working and researching more in this side. So new developments are coming up, and those developments are getting in the cars.
Also, I think the global GPS and the weather conditions
Yeah,
integration with the IoT,
correct,
maybe the vehicle in advance will know that there's a thunderstorm coming, and it will
correct.
automatically take up your windows. And I heard a person that he was soon the technology will be that you are driving car and suddenly you get a message that there is a nearby cafe shop, just you go there and relax for some time. So you'll say, why? I want to go to my place, I'm just driving. The car will say, no, no, you just go
No,
there, just be there.
so
Suddenly
it's
you will
more
get a call from your doctor, the guy, your BP, your heart rate is abnormal, the steering is sensing your heart rate and it's
Correct.
correct.
continuously going up. So please, I have already ordered a light meal or something, be there. An ambulance is coming, your wife has been contacted, and such everything has happened. Just you're steering, putting that steering, and
Such a,
you don't know you're going to be on the verge of a mild stroke. So the
initially
sensors will know
देखिए,
before.
human to human था, अभी human to computer जब से interaction ज्यादा हो गया है, so
Correct.
these are very
Yes,
critical factors which are happening here.
thanks to people in computer science like Shivansh who are writing machine learning and artificial intelligence. These
So
guys are
AI is
going to.
very important thing. Yeah,
AI is very
absolutely.
important. That's true.
That's वो पूरा सब कुछ AI पे भी होने वाला है. And transformers जो
So
सर है वो actually it is happening. I'm working on some project where transformer जो हम cartoon में देखते थे जो आ रहे हैं सारे, it's a fact which you will be seeing a live thing very soon.
Correct.
Actual
तो
thing. It's
मेरा
not
ये
about
कहना है, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर्स अपने मन से ये निकाल दें कि एक हम लोग मैकेनिकल के हैं या हमारे लिए क्या होगा या आईटी क्या है. इट्स ऑल अबाउट इंजीनियरिंग. सो
Correct.
शिवांश, योर क्वेश्चन. बहुत देर से आपको हमने चुप बैठा रखा है.
Sir, very excited to see the transformers, first of all. Secondly, as sir you mentioned, we need a passion to the automobile industry. So apart from passion, what skill does a fresher need to come to that stunt industry of automobile?
एक
So
सक्सेसफुल कैरियर बनाने के लिए एक कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट अभी जहाँ वो अपने कॉलेज में शिवानी पब्लिकेशन एंड they're just reading books, getting pass and academic scores very is the key. और वो क्या करें ताकि
सर
एक
आई
रिसर्च
थिंक
और
इसमें आंसर
मार्केटिंग
मैं
का भी
पहले एक
सेट
छोटा सा देता
है।
हूँ,
यस।
मैं लाइव एग्जांपल में आप लोग के सामने हूँ. So it's not about just passing the exam. It's about, having and applying the practicality. I think शुरू में भी हम लोग ने इस चीज को बताया था. Passion is very important thing, but you need to understand the thing. You should have a different approach. Your attitude should be in such a way which should make a difference for you. It's not about जैसे सर ने भी बोला, वर्तुल ने भी बोला था पहले कि आपने खाली वो कर लिया. You need to have a overall development for the complete thing. Your approach should be in such a way which helps you फॉर दी. इट्स नॉट अबाउट जैसे कंपनीज होती हैं, जैसे कैंपस प्लेसमेंट बहुत सारे हैं. कंपनीज वांट पीपल शुड बी अ गुड लर्नर आल्सो, एंड ही शुड रेडी टू एक्सेप्ट थिंग्स एंड अप्लाई करना आना चाहिए. जैसे एग्जांपल अभी शिवांश आप कंप्यूटर साइंस में हो, बट मेरे को जो ध्यान है हमारे टाइम पे भी और अभी भी होता होगा, बहुत सारे मैकेनिकल एंड वो सब लोग आईटी फील्ड में जाते हैं. वाई? बिकॉज थॉट प्रोसेस ये, जैसे सर ने स्टार्टिंग में बोला था, थॉट प्रोसेस ये रहता है कि यार मेरे को जल्दी से जॉब मिल जाए. So your approach should be, it's not about getting a job, it's getting about what you want to do in life, and your approach will definitely define your path. So आप जो पढ़ाया जा रहा है उसको अच्छे से करो, अपना एक्सपोजर करो. Right now you have got so many people to guide you. आपको कुछ भी हो, you can always buzz us and you can take our guidance, because passion is definitely which creates a difference, no doubt about it. But technically also you need to learn. It's जैसे वर्तुल बार बार एक चीज को हार्प कर रहा है कि you should be always inquisitive. Why मतलब that is very important factor as per me. वर्तुल, you want to add something to it?
Correct. So Shivansh, one more thing. Rohit ने बहुत अच्छा point बोला. Like nowadays you have internet very easily available with everyone, anywhere, everywhere. So make sure like on YouTube you are seeing the videos, you are reading some articles, or like Instagram, Facebook. You have so many different videos that you can watch to relate to cars. There are different people who post their videos like how these cars in Dubai, like the cars which were very extra cars, like were only made like two or three in the world. How are they made? So just watch those videos, increase your knowledge, know the practical aspect of, just like if you are reading thermodynamics, just watch some videos like how thermodynamics is implementing in the car, and that will, like, that knowledge will be with you throughout the life. If you see a video and you like it and you remember that, any interview or anywhere you can give that practical example, so that way you can prepare yourself. You can learn your books knowledge, you can pass your exams, but you can have this internet that can help you a lot nowadays.
So just one more point to add to it. So last one to it. Basically, it's आधे घंटे के इंटरव्यू में वो आपसे क्या क्या पूछ लेगा इंटरव्यूअर, बट योर अप्रोच एंड एटीट्यूड, योर crispness of that answer, because he just wants to know that you really understand that logic, what is going behind it. So that will definitely help you out to move forward in life.
And Shivansh, a very good example is your poster
I
just
think
behind
there
you.
was a
So that's a very good
glitch.
example of the practical approach. So
Thank you so much, sir. That was really very inspiring. So I would like to conclude, we only need to focus on our passion, not to shifting of the jobs. That being a mechanical engineer, you are going towards the IT because you need to get a job. We should be more focused about learning and more focused what you want to do in future, not
What do you
about
want
getting a quick job.
to, absolutely, what do you want to do in life, that is more critical, rather than just for the sake of joining any company. अच्छा ये हुई है तो I'll personally give my example. I had some offers from different companies, but I was inclined to join into automobile industry, so that's why I'm here. Otherwise I was one of the few candidates to be part of day zero selection, so but still I waited and I wanted to be part of automobile. That's why I'm here.
same with me, Shivansh.
Same with
Like
me. Yeah.
Anuj sir से के साथ जब मैं था, so I was selected in Wipro, and the day I landed in US, तब मेरे पास offer letter था Wipro का joining का. So you have to sometimes take decisions in life that for your career.
Just
So
have self
But
belief,
if you
believe in
have a
yourself.
passion for auto, even if you're working in an IT industry, a lot of IT industry work for auto industries as
Yeah, that's
client,
Correct.
true. That's true.
and that is how you can always contribute. So live your passion, and but be open with the opportunities which come. Any small steps, any baby steps towards your career, but try to keep taking them. And we should definitely follow our passion, but at the same time we should not just reject the opportunities which are coming our way. A message which I would really want to give, that definitely IT generates more jobs than core industry, especially for colleges which are below NIT. So it's not about you cannot make a career in automobile industry. You can definitely make a career in automobile industry, but in your pursuit of that making the career, if you're getting an IT job, you can take an IT job, go to Bangalore, maybe do a design course, and maybe get more exposed to what auto sector is, and you can anytime go back and join any automobile company and live your dreams.
Very
So
well said, sir. Very well said.
That's true, sir. Yep, that's true.
Baby steps
so
to you need to take baby steps to define your way forward, and you need to define like school ke baad they decided to be becoming an engineer, so they are here in the engineering stream, and then they need to define their path. Baby steps are very good example to take it forward.
Correct. And sir, like TCS TCS has now GM in India, so we are working a lot with the TCS team. So TCS and then the Cognizant, they work a lot with us. So these companies are
It's
also
all
working in the
interconnected.
automobile sector. So don't feel like if you're in IT, you're not working in automobile. I work
because
with
the
TCS
future of
engineers
automobile
every day.
again is it will be a connected world, not only inside the car, but you're traveling, you're positioning, like
Correct.
it's going to be a very three-dimensional exposure. So before we conclude, I really would like to have your concluding remarks to students of Career Pathshala, and I personally thank you that we got a good response, quite a good number of questions. Though it was a festival day, we thought of putting off on Raksha Bandhan, but we thought no, let's keep it going. And thank you viewers for coming in. So your final message for the students who are planning to make their career, Vartul. Uh,
So, sir, just one last thing, like a happy Raksha Bandhan to everyone for joining, and stay safe, stay healthy. And if you want to learn more, you can connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook or any social media, and I can guide you more or any help you need from my side. And all the best for your exam, and congratulations for the class which is graduating this year. And I hope you have a good future, good jobs, and good placements this year. So, and thank you, sir, for bringing me here today on this platform. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all ours, Vartul. Rohit, your final
It's
liners
simple.
before we.
Give your best and leave the rest, and do what makes you happy, and just follow your path which has to be defined by yourself, and move forward for achieving your goals in life. All the very best and stay safe. And I'm sure that इसमें से कोई ना कोई तो 100% महिंद्रा में आएगा, तो I'll be very happy when I meet that person. मालूम पड़ेगा कि वेबिनार से मैं आया उधर से. I'm waiting for that day.
So,
Sure.
thank you so much, Vartul and Rohit. It's a special session we thought of having on Raksha Bandhan, not only from an industry expert. Yes, they are an industry expert, but also your seniors. So, somewhere down the line, we always feel that, yes, seniors always feel that whatever best we can give back to the juniors and to the next community so that they can come up and grow stronger. India definitely needs a very strong youth to transform the country. It has all the best value systems for the to lead the globe, and it's all for the youth, which will take India forward. And finally, Shivansh, a vote of thanks from you, and then we close for the day.
I would like to thank you, Mr. and Dr. Anuj Garg, sir, for providing us such a wonderful seniors and mentors for us. They have guided us so much, and especially for the ones, the parts which we are not able to think of, especially the designing part and the job opportunities for the other branches which they have never thought of. Thank you, Bartul sir. I may mispronounce your name. Sorry for
No,
that.
no, you're fine. You're
Thank
fine.
you, Bartul sir, for coming on such an auspicious day, and thank you so much for providing us on such a short notice. Thank you, sir. And once again, happy Raksha Bandhan to all the dignitaries.
Me too.
Thank you, Rohit.
थैंक यू सर एंड लास्ट
Thank,
थिंग
thank
एक
you,
बार
Thank
बोलना
you,
Vartul.
चाहूंगा
Vatul.
मुझे तो पूरा रिकॉल हो गया पूरा फर्स्ट ईयर से लेके मेरे फाइनल ईयर तक
Sure,
एंड आई एम जस्ट इट्स नॉस्टैल्जिक फीलिंग फॉर मी राइट नाउ
sure.
Great.
That's true.
So
That's true,
thank you
Rohit.
so much, viewers. Tomorrow at 9:30, we are coming up with our closing session on all digital platforms, especially AI, ML, and data science. It will be a very interactive session by a senior director. He's been known for bringing a lot of business to Cognizant, and he has made thought of making it a more of interactive. We regret for the inconvenience of making that show at morning 9:30 a.m. because of his continuous calls. We don't want to miss him. And tomorrow 9:30 we will have a very important show. So do join us. Thank you so much and enjoy your time with family. Be safe. And Raksha Bandhan is all about making yourself safe. अपनी रक्षा करें, अपनी फैमिली की रक्षा करें, अपने देश की भी रक्षा करें. And रक्षा करने के लिए we have to make our future strong. So this festival is all about securing the future. So please secure your future, your family, and your country's future. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you, Vartul, Rohit, and Shivansh for being on the show. Signing off for Career Parshala. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
थैंक
sir.
यू